Okay, so the class is being recorded, and my name is Dr. Sameh, and this is EA300B. And we have reached the last leg on this lovely journey that we call EA300B, Children's Literature B, or 2. How much terrain have we covered so far? I mean, a lot, obviously. 2 picture books and a novel, and we're doing the second novel, which is Tom's Midnight God. And with Tom, when we have finished Tom's Midnight Garden, we will have finished the whole course. It's a very interesting novel, and typical of novels, it has all the features of a novel. You have characters, you have a plot, you have setting, you have point of view, and of course, you have themes and ideas and issues. But before we proceed to Tom's Midnight Garden, uh, if you guys have any questions before I start, I mean, about what we have done so far, and tell me how you find the experience. I mean, doing children's literature. Um, and perhaps let me ask you this hypothetical question about the future. You, if you're pondering doing an MA, would you do an MA with a concentration and a focus on I'm sorry, on uh, children's literature? Yeah, come to the mic and
Okay,
share. Yeah, Mariam.
Mariam. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it's very interesting. Very, now I know what's behind each story that, before I was watching a movie, I read the story for my child. It's like just a story, but now
mm.
I know what's behind, each small point. I have
You mean you have
I have an
now,
eye. Yeah,
you, I mean, now you have what? A more nuanced idea about what children's
yes,
literature is, its intricacies, its you're obviously reading between and beyond the lines, right? And
yes,
there is
because
more to literature, I'm sorry, children's literature than what meets the eye, right?
yes. And I
Nice.
call myself expert when I sit in a television and watch any movie in English, rather than
Mhm.
it's in a story movie story or anything. I just sit and say that's action. Behind it, there is an idea. The author that's need to deliver. It's same
Nice.
like this. It's an interesting. It's very enjoyable course. I enjoy it
Nice.
very much than other courses.
That's good. Thank you, Mariam. Nagwa?
Yes, to be honest, I found this course a bit more interesting and different than the other courses. Like, I did not expect it to be filled with all of those details and analysis. Like, at first, I thought, okay, children's book, they are mainly for entertainment, and they are those like common themes that we know that are sometimes clear. But sometimes throughout our analysis and throughout the lectures, we spoke about stuff that would have never come to my mind initially and about like symbols and like underlying themes that are so much hidden. And it is quite interesting that also for the pictures that they also play an important role. Like as most people, you would just think they are there for decorative purposes or for fun and entertainment, but no, they actually do affect and influence the emotions and the meaning behind them. So this is quite interesting.
So let me go to my original question. If you're likely to do an MA in English literature, would you choose children's literature or
It
an
is an
MA?
interesting one. It can be one of the choices, but if I choose it, like the pathway for work would be definite about like more involved with children.
Mm,
So I'm not sure whether I choose something very specified or I'd go for something general that could also help me later, like maybe diplomas or something about children. Yeah, but masters, it would like limit the pathway of my career.
nice. Very good. Thank you, Nagwa. Nawaf?
Yes, doctor. Actually, I cannot remember the last time I enjoyed course this much. Maybe it was double 100. This course, as you mentioned before, short and sweet, and I think we should appreciate even more the story of Voices in the Park. There are lots of literature elements on it, short, sweet. So yeah, about your question, I would actually.
Nice. Very good. Thank you, Nawaf.
You're welcome.
Any other thoughts before we proceed? Okay. Let's talk about the midterm exam. So, how did you find the exam? Easy, difficult, challenging? Come to the mic.
It's يعني a little challenging, between challenging and easy, but it's good يعني expected.
Mm,
How
nice.
did you see our exam, doctor?
Yeah,
Our answers?
yeah. Most of you, so far, I have finished like 75% or 80%, and it's encouraging, in terms of grades. I mean, the grades that I assign to people that they are, uh, um, yeah, nice grades.
Thank God. Alhamdulillah.
Uh, I also noticed that people attempt the close reading question, and I said that the close reading question comes in the long essay part, which means that you need to write an essay in the close reading part because it comes in that part, okay? And I have people writing like half a page or perhaps less. And obviously, this is a mistake. And I kept saying that, guys, remember that if you choose to do a close reading question, because there was a choice, right? You have to know how to do it, right? Not so many people listened, unfortunately. Um,
Doctor,
uh, yeah, go ahead.
I think the exam wasn't difficult, but had little time to organize our thoughts because it's literature, so we want to write. We want more time to organize our thoughts and
You
ideas.
have too
I think
long, yeah, Maha, you have 2 long hours, and you're asked to write or to attempt 3 questions, and two of them are short. Okay, so you end up having like um, 1 page or a little more or a little less for the short answers. And you focus your energies on the second question or the second part, which is the long essay, which wouldn't take more than 45 minutes, right? So what I'm trying to say is that you can even have, if you budget your time, kind of correctly and well, you can even review and revise before you submit the papers. It's a time management thing. I think 2 hours for 3 answers and two of them are short, I think would be more than enough. But anyway, what's done, halas. I mean, we have to kind of focus on the final exam, and we need to learn lessons from the midterm. Yeah, and like I said, most of us did good or did well, but then perhaps I'm expecting more. Uh, yeah, somebody was raising his or her hand. Right. Anyway, Type. How much do we know about Tom's Midnight Garden? Because we're expecting that we know what the calendar um, tells. I mean, we know what is scheduled on the calendar, and if we have finished the three uh, assigned works, I mean, obviously Tom's Midnight Garden was coming. So, did you have the time or even the curiosity to kind of check what Tom's Midnight Garden is and is about? Let me hear what Nagwa has to say and then go back to Mariam and Fawzia. Yeah, Nagwa.
I actually found a movie on YouTube. It is an old movie, and I watched it, and I got a general sense of the idea, the plot, and what happens throughout the story.
Nice. Good. Thank you. Mariam?
The same, doctor. I watched the movie that's on YouTube, and I
Nice.
listened the record that you sent it before one
Yeah,
half an
today.
hour on WhatsApp.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. Fawzia?
Uh, I see some videos about it. It's the idea about the midtime at 12 o'clock. Some changes happen in the garden of Tom and play something about the time. I think it's changed the time, or he can play about the time. That's what I understand. Thank you, doctor.
Okay. Fawzia, thank you so much. Maha?
Actually, I saw the movie. I saw the movie, and it left great and deep impression on me, and remind me of my childhood. And I noticed there were a clear message and hidden message in the movie.
Okay. Mumtaz. Thank you, Maha. Yazan?
To be honest, doctor, I found it like a bit confusing because like it's not understand like I can't
Yazan,
understand.
yeah, Yazan, your voice comes and goes. Can you?
And now all is it working
Yeah,
good now?
yes, yes.
Like doctor, I found it a bit confusing because like the clock rings at the hour of 13, and then he goes to the garden and meets like the girl, and then she gets older, but his age still is the same. So it will be like interesting to get deep in the to the novel.
Yes, nice. And novels and works of art are, you know, they are up for grabs in terms of accessibility. You wouldn't like them to be too direct or too immediate because that would kind of spoil them for you. Otherwise, what would be the difference between life, reality on the one hand, and art? So art shouldn't be a replica of life in terms of life's linearity, life's clarity sometimes. So this element of obscurity and ambiguity in a work of art is something um, interesting. Again, stressing the fact that art is not a replica of life. It doesn't replicate or copy life as is, right? Okay, Ibrahim.
I found it mix of reality and fantasy, and also I can relate to Einstein theory about the wormholes, like when people escape to another time. That's what I found it.
Yeah, it is. It has this element of fantasy to it. And again, I remember very vividly what Coleridge, this very famous romantic poet, said about people approaching literature and stuff, and saying that you need to suspend your disbelief. Unless you suspend your disbelief that what is happening is not true, you wouldn't enjoy it. So you have to go with the flow. You have to believe what is unbelievable, at least momentarily, so that you can enjoy and savor what you are reading and what you're watching if you're watching a movie. And this is actually what we do on, I wouldn't say on a daily basis, because we don't dream daily or nightly for that matter. So what do you think of our dreams? Dreams, what is so characteristic of a dream? Dreams are what? Or how are they made? The stuff of dreams is normally fantasy. In dreams, you can grow up, you can become whoever you want to be. In reality, it would take years and years for you to, first of all, grow up, and perhaps some other years to realize your dreams, and sometimes you don't, right? In dreams, you see people that you perhaps perhaps you know thousands of miles separate you from, right? You see people that you miss, perhaps deceased individuals, people that died way back and stuff. And this is so our dreams are reality, a reality that we grapple with nightly or every week, or right. Um, yeah, Mariam, go ahead. So the basic idea in Tom's Midnight Garden is that we're having somebody who is somehow taken on a journey to the past. So this is also fantastic because we are locked in the present and we're headed towards the future, right? We cannot go back to the past. And even what we do is a loss. Whatever you do, we don't have control Z in life, like I always say. You cannot undo what you have done already, right? So life is linear. It moves from past to present for the future, right? So this is the linearity of life. And this is also the linearity of our thinking. Our thinking is linear. So for people to imagine that they can go all the way back to the past is something that is out of the realm of possibility. Again, in spite of the fact that it is something that we do nightly or every week when we engage in a dream, when we dream. With dreams, you can go to the future and you can also go to the past. You meet people that you're not likely to meet, either because they are dead or either because they they don't simply exist. So that would add a layer of beauty to what we're talking about. So hypothetically, um, something interesting to go all the way back to the past. Whenever I teach this course, I ask people to also imagine that we're having that the university is perhaps organizing a couple of journeys, one to the past and the other to the future. And I ask people to choose whether they want to go on the journey to the past or to the other one to the future? And I'm asking you now, and you need to perhaps tell me why you would like to join the journey to the past or join the journey to the future. So who is going with us to the past? The journey to the past, and why? Raise your hands.
كيف حالك؟ جي معنا الشاليه؟ تصبحين؟ دكتور ممكن
Yeah.
لو سمحت repeat your question to understand. I didn't understand what
Okay,
you
so what I'm saying is that the university is organizing a journey or a trip to the past. Would you like to join? Or are you going to wait for the trip that we're organizing for the future?
No, actually, without thinking, I want to go to the past because
Okay, that's
better.
good. So, okay, we're writing your name. Tell us later, Yamaha, why you want to join the trip to the past. So with us to on the trip to the past is Fawzia, Yazan, Nawaf, right? And of course Maha. Anybody else? Okay, so and Ihda. So those who would like to go with us on the trip to the future, raise your hands. Okay, so we're going to start chronologically. I would like you to all uh, drop your hands. Those who would like to go with us to the past, why? And what kind of past and which time period? Um, okay, Nawaf, you're
Well, yes, I would like to go to the past because I'm actually a nostalgic person, and also I miss those old days. The past maybe 10 years ago. That's
10
it,
years
nothing
ago.
more. Yeah.
Your past. You would like to revisit your past.
Yes, my best.
So, is there something that you would like to go back to and perhaps change, or what? Why? Why?
No, I wouldn't
Mm,
change anything, but I
mm,
would enjoy those moments even more.
nice, good. Okay. So let's move all the way to Yazan.
Yes, doctor, I choose the past because uh, at the past years, I was getting like to visit my countries and like gathering with my families, with my grandmother and my grandfather. But like right now, it's harder to go back to my country, and I've lost also my grandmother and my grandfather. Like the family gathering was the best moment when you gather with
Nice.
your grandmother and your grandfather. Yeah.
That's a very good
Where are you from,
reason.
Yazan?
Thank you, doctor.
Right, let's move to other people wanting to go to the past. Maha, would you like to go to the past? Because
Yes,
you were
doctor.
raising your hand. Okay. Why
Yes,
is
yes,
that?
yes. Because I want to go. I want to go back to the time when I lived with my father and my mother because I lost my father. So I want to go to live with them again, and I want to meet my friends. I choose the past because we are in the present, and inshallah, we will see the future. إذا ربنا أراد. But the past it's so difficult to go on the past. We can't brought it back again.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Maha. Was it Maha or Mariam? Yeah, I think this was Maha, right?
Yes, doctor.
Uh, okay. You're the one who was speaking, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah, it was you. Yes. Okay. طيب. Who else would like to go to the past? Mariam, did you say you want to go to the past?
No, I'm the future, doctor.
No, you're a future person. Okay.
The
طيب.
best is best, خلاص. We
Yeah,
can't
yeah, the
change it.
past is yeah. Okay, let's go to the people who would like to join the trip to the future. Raise your hands. Okay. Okay, so let's start with what's Faye.
Yes, doctor.
Why do you want to go to the future? Why don't you wait for the
Actually,
future to come to you?
yeah. Actually, to be honest with you, I want to stay in the present day. But for the future, I'm just curious to
Mhm.
see what will happen in the future, and to see my children and grandchildren. So nothing interesting except that.
Nice. Okay, Faye. Thank you so much. Ibrahim?
Yes, doctor. I want to go to the future in order to see what mistakes can forbid me from achieving my dream. So, in order for me to fix it right now and have a great future.
Hmm. Why? Yeah, I mean, you can create your own future for now. I mean, future can be created. I mean, you don't have to kind of go and check what kind of future يعني kind of is
I know,
awaiting
but as
you.
a human being, we have some mistakes sometimes forbid us from to achieve our dreams. Because even in like for an education, I have many mistakes. That's what let me attend this course when I'm in this age. So if I have this, if I know in that long time before, I would fix it. I see what mistake that would lead me not achieve my dream, my education dream on time. Yeah, sometimes because the past is like complicated and I faced a lot of trouble in the past, so I don't want to go back that anyway. And
Mm. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole, like they say, right?
yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
right. Mm. Okay, people who are going to the future. Who else would like to go to the future with us? Okay. Zainab,
Yeah, I would like to go to the future because it's make us learn from the past to make a new beginning, new future, learn from our mistakes every day to make the future.
you mean you're going to learn from your mistakes in the past, and you try to, I mean, you're going to try to avoid them in the future, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Good. Okay. So, Ibrahim, are you still raising your hand? Wasaif, you're raising your hand.
Yes, doctor, I choose the future because I wonder about the future so that I can see better things, new opportunities, and mistakes from the past to learn from for a better life.
Nice, mashallah. Great. Nice. Okay.
How about you,
Very,
doctor?
I don't know. I mean, you think, I mean, I have my 50 years behind me, which means that I don't know. I mean, do you think I have a future ahead of me at 53?
Totally
I
agree with
doubt
the
it,
doctor.
Yeah. Allah
But
يكرم.
doctor,
Yeah.
don't you want to go to the past in 70s, like when life in Egypt was like extraordinary?
I think I didn't have this self-awareness at the time. I mean, I was born in 1971, and of course, if you're talking about the 70s, obviously, until I am 10, I'm not totally aware of what is happening around me, right? So
I get
I
it.
wouldn't enjoy it that much because I didn't, and it wasn't happy and it wasn't sad, you know. I was just unaware. I mean, a human being like anybody else, but you know, dealing with life in a perhaps I don't know. I mean, perhaps if I go back to the past, I would kind of rectify lots of errors and mistakes that I have done over the years, you know. Um, so it's the past. I would go to the past rather than to the future.
Okay, cool.
Mm. Okay, طيب. So this is the core idea in Tom's Midnight Garden. We need to check and explore why Tom is taken to the past. Obviously, he is taken to the past um, for reasons that we need to kind of unlock. And obviously, it's going to be up for grabs. So it depends on how you see stuff, and it also depends on how you relate to the novel. I'd like those who have read the novel, or perhaps they are halfway through, or those who have read a good summary of it, to come to the mic and explain it, or perhaps retell the story so that we are all on the same page, so that we can connect the dots when I speak about the themes and the ideas and everything in between. Okay, Mariam, go ahead.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah.
It is a boy, a young boy, not a child and not an adult. It's between. He his brother have a flu. I didn't know. I doesn't know
Me,
what. Yeah,
measles, حمى يعني,
measles.
ولا
Yeah, and
something of
he
حصبة.
yeah al
Yeah,
hasba,
measles. Yeah,
and
yes.
he forced to leave the home and go with his uncle
Mm.
and aunt to live with them يعني in home, in their home. They didn't have children to play with. They didn't have a playground or a garden near to play with them. So he fall asleep in the night, and while it's kick the clock at 12, he get inside a dream. He had a dream, and he like a ghost in the dream, similar to ghost, but he must. I think the girl that he play with, right? But doctor, I have
Yeah.
a question.
Tell us the story and then finish the story
Every yeah,
and I'll
every day,
yeah, go
every
ahead.
day he go in his dreams and play with this girl, Hattie, I think her name, sorry. And until they يعني have a good relation between them as a friend يعني. And then يعني he shocked that she is the one that يعني the old one that the old grand who owned
Um,
the home that his aunt and uncle live in. She is the one, but she is with him in his dream as a young, same age. Just this. They يعني go in fantasy and adventure,
yeah.
but
Obviously, your kind of
mm,
narrative is based on what you have seen or watched. And this was obviously an adaptation of the original novel, right?
I think yes.
Okay, let's listen to what Yazan has to say and then go all the way to Nagwa. Yeah, Yazan.
Yes, doctor. first of all, the main character of the novel is a young boy named
Tom.
Tom
Tom.
Long. Yes, yes, Tom Long. His brother got them like got a flu, and he should be quarantined. So his mother and his father decides to take him to his uncle and aunt in their house. First of all, he felt lonely because he don't have anyone to play with. And then he heard the clock rings at 13, so he get down and uh, and decides to go to the garden. He found a young girl named Haiti. He starts playing with her day after day, and then he realized that the girl he played with is the long lady upstairs, which named Mrs.
Whose whose name?
Bartholomew. Yes,
Yeah.
who name
Whose
is
whose
Bartholomew,
whose name?
whose name,
Yes.
and we have like all several themes. We can say childhood and adulthood and friendship and loneliness.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Yazan, so much. Let's have Nagwa on board.
Yes, so according to the movie, the story starts with Tom, who has to like go with his aunt and uncle because his brother got sick with the measles, and he goes to stay with their home for a couple of days, and they try to inform him that their home isn't like as fancy or as entertaining as he is used to with his brother. There's no garden, and it might be dull for him, but they're gonna try their best to entertain him. And when he arrives, they tell him also the history of the home, that it used to be owned by a family, then it was divided into separate apartments, and there are many inhabitants. And then he later discovers that when the clock strikes 13, he can open the backyard door and he's gonna have like a huge garden. And at first, he thought that the family and the inhabitants of the apartments are lying to him, that there is actually a garden and they're trying to hide it from him. But then he later like discovers that that's not true, and so on. And he goes there and he has fun. And then he also tries to postpone his return back home because he is actually having fun, and he meets Hattie, and they go like they enjoy their time together. And then he discovers that there is a difference in the timeline and the years between where he is now with his aunt and uncle and the garden, the timeline of the garden. And then the story deals with the memory, with the time, with loneliness and themes like that.
Nice. Good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Nagwa. Maha?
Yes, Doctor. I think Tom's Midnight Garden talk about the story of the boy named Tom that's into his relatives or uncles while because his brother got sick, and Tom feels proud in the uncle's house until he discovered a magical garden that appear only at the midnight when clock strikes 13. Um, in the garden, he meets some boys and girls named Happy, and he become friends with her. Even there is uh, the time moves differently between each of them. Each of them, and Tom's visit the garden every night, and he's still at the same age, but Hattie was grow older. At the end, Tom discovered the old Hattie lives in the same house. She is the same girl that met in the magical garden. I think also, or I believe that they share the dreams because they had something in common, which is the pain and separation and longing and loneliness. That's why they met on the path of the dreams, which is connect also the reality dream with reality.
MashaAllah. Thank you, Maha, so much. Okay. So this is a novel. And typical of novels, you have the different elements of a novel. You have characters, you have a plot, which what you have given now. We also have setting and of course point of view and narrators, and of course you have themes and ideas. So let's take each and every element at a time. Let's start with the characters. So let's talk about who the characters are.
Me, doctor.
And yeah, go ahead.
The main character, the boy, he is the hero or the main character, and his brother and the mother and the aunt and uncle
Mm,
and the older lady, and there is the one in the farm. I didn't know his name. I doesn't know his name.
okay, go on.
And the boys that he is played in a dream with them,
Okay,
the cousins for the Hattie, and only I think yes. I know when he get old, he married and have a child, a girl or a boy. I didn't remember. Only that's it that I remember.
nice, very good. Can somebody tell us about the characters again?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, go ahead.
The main character is Tom Long. We also have his brother, Peter Long. Also his aunt Gwen and uncle Alan. And the girl he played with, Hattie. And like she is the same girl, but when she's getting old, her name becomes Mrs. Bartholomew.
Nice, good. Okay, so remember what we said about characters, whether whenever we have characters, characters are either types. Types means that they are
Dynamic.
flat, they don't change, or they are round and dynamic. They have this capacity for change. The people that you see at the beginning are different at the end in terms of awareness, in terms of knowledge about themselves and also about the world. So, Nagwa, you were raising your hand. Go ahead.
Yes, no, it's. I want to say something, but my teammates already said everything I had in mind.
Okay. So, who do you think? I mean, those who have read the novel or a summary, even those who have heard this, who do you think is the most dynamic of the characters, who has this capacity for change? Somebody who has changed already. Okay.
Tom Long.
Yeah, Tom.
May-
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
happy because he goes through different periods from the childhood to the teenager to the adulthood. When got married and have children and be older, or elderly from elderly people.
Nice. Nagwa?
Yes, I would also agree that Hattie could be also a dynamic character because when she was young, before meeting Tom, her character was dumb and passive. She would be lonely, but throughout her journey or throughout her meetups with Tom, she becomes more daring. She would go climb trees with him. We even get a scene on the fence when Tom tries to climb a fence and that she's near him, and then the old guy captures her and takes her away. So he thinks that she is going out of the norms and their ideas.
Nice. Nagwa. Yazan?
Yes, doctor. Tom Long, because at the beginning of the novel, he starts lonely, bored, and also frustrated. While he visits the Midnight Garden, he starts having like a good friendship with Hattie and start playing with her also. So he gets interesting and like mature.
Yeah, well, maturity does not come, just like that. You need to have like trials and tribulations. You have to go through difficult times, which I think Tom had. I mean, right? He had gone through those hardships. So when you see him at the end, he is totally reformed. He is now accepting of life and its realities, and if this is how you see it, of course. So it's not about physical change because he remains the Tom that we know in terms of um, physical growth. He didn't change much, but something deep inside him changed. I mean, his attitudes towards life, his uh, um, ideas about life and its realities. So this is the real change that we're talking about, and that would qualify him as around characters, around character, right? Um, yeah, Mariam, go ahead.
Yes, there is a theme that they didn't say about the nostalgia. That's
Nostalgia.
very nostalgia. Yes, very very shown in the novel. Very much.
Yeah, we'll
And
we'll talk
and
about that when we talk
yeah,
about themes and issues and ideas. Okay, so again, whether Tom is the only round and dynamic character, this is perhaps a subject of debate because we have other characters. So we have also Hattie, who changes physically and perhaps on another more advanced level. I mean, in terms of maturity, and whether she changes, and whether she was meant to change and become different, or perhaps she was a tool of change. She was perhaps there to effect changes in the life of Tom so that he can learn the lessons that we're talking about. This is something that we're going to debate and talk more about. Again, Hattie, we cannot undermine the role that Hattie plays in the novel. She is very important, and if we don't have Hattie, we don't have Tom. If we don't have Hattie, we don't have those experiences that Tom went through. She's going to share with him what she has been through. She is going to go with him to the past and is going to revisit her past, and he's going to learn from her past, and he becomes changed and reformed at the end. So, had it not been for Hattie and her experiences, he wouldn't have had the opportunity to learn a lesson or two. Um, okay, so let's talk about the setting. So perhaps, yeah, let's talk about the setting when we come back from the break. Let's take a 10-minute break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about the setting of Tom's Midnight God. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Bye bye. No?
Yes. Hello, doctor.
Yeah. Can you all hear me? Yeah, hi.
Yes, doctor.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So I was talking, or we were talking rather, about the different aspects of the novel, and we said that typical of novels, it is divided into the usual components. You have characters, you have setting, um, you have, of course, themes and ideas, and you also have point of view. And of course, the plot, which we have kind of talked about. Let's talk about the setting and see whether. Let's talk about the setting. Let's lay out the setting, and then we will talk about if the setting is significant or not. So, if you still remember, in the other side of truth, we had, in terms of place, we have two different places, and obviously, every and each one of them had its significance, right? Moving from Nigeria to England, moving perhaps from oppressive circumstances to what seemed at the beginning to be, a climate or an atmosphere of freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly and movement, and everything in between. So, do we have the same thing in Tom's Midnight Garden? Do we have one setting or a number of settings? And let's agree on one thing. When I talk about setting, I don't limit myself to uh, places. Setting also has to do with time. So setting is time and space or place. So what do you know about the setting of Tom's Midnight Garden? Come to the mic and share.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, go ahead, Ian.
I think the setting of the Midnight Gardens, the Tom's Midnight Garden, in a large house, but have two different times in the Tom's world. Uh, lived in the same house, but in the present, and the second time in the war in the Hathi world, in the Victorian age. Lived also in the same house, but it was with garden, with a beautiful garden. So
Okay,
two times.
nice. Okay, I need somebody else to perhaps elaborate more, talk more about the setting. Who's talking? Yeah, who's talking?
Maryam.
Yeah, go ahead, Yaman.
I read a summary analysis for the novel. I read that the Hattie sitting in Victorian era. I didn't يعني sure it is right or not.
Yeah, she comes from like a couple of generations earlier than Tom. She's obviously older. But this is actually what we realize at the end, and that she belongs to a different time period, more specifically the Victorian age. Yes. So this is obviously a different setting, right? In terms of time, we're moving uh, from the past to the present. And of course, the present was the 1950s, right? The 1950s in England, right? And this is significant in and of itself, as we're going to see in a minute. Again, come to the mic. Tell us more about the setting. So obviously we're
The
moving.
first,
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
uh, yes, I forget something. Most of the events of the novel, it becomes in the midnight in the magical garden with happy words. This I forget this point.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so again, I was talking about the setting as having different layers, different facets. You have movement from within the same country. For example, you have the movement from the house of Tom's parents to the house of his uncle and aunt, and this is a shift. And obviously, it's very significant because of the feeling of loneliness that is going to overtake Tom when he leaves behind his brother and goes and live with his uncle and aunt. The setting is different and significant because of um, the clashes of ideas that we're going to see. Tom is thinking on a plane that is obviously different from that of the his uncle and aunt. We also have a movement from the house to the garden, and obviously when you go to the garden, it's Pandora's box of possibilities and opportunities. And obviously, this is very significant, and because it's through the garden that he will go to the past and discover things and get schooled in life and its reality. This is also a very important shift. Again, like we said, it starts off physically. It starts off with location, but it doesn't end there. Location gives way to time, which is another aspect of the setting, and time is very important. We're moving uh, from the present to the past, and obviously, of all the pasts that you can imagine, it's the Victorian age that we're hitting. And obviously, this was for very good reasons. Again, you will have those two time periods, the present and the past, pitted against each other. And out of this, Tom emerges victorious in terms of awareness, in terms of knowledge about life and its realities. And he gets to learn a number of lessons and chief, and on top of those lessons would be the idea that life is not linear. And you can always go back to the past and you can learn stuff. And in the same breath, life is linear, where you have this trajectory with people moving forward. They move from the past to the present to the future and to the point of no return, where we're talking about people dying and everything. So again, realizing that there is an end for everything is also a reference to time and its linearity and the different manifestations of this linearity would be the idea that Tom and Hattie will stop playing at one point because Hattie is going to is growing exponentially. The garden is going to disappear at one point. Again, this is pointing to the fact that everything comes to an end. Ending, the end of things is inevitable. So these are things that he realizes over time, obviously. Again, the setting helps with that, with its two aspects, whether we're talking about time or place. Okay, moving from the setting to point of view, the narrative. Who is narrating and whose point of view are we having or reading or listening to? So is it third person narrative or first person? Do we have the I and we, which makes it first person, or the he and the they and the she, which would make it third person narrative? And if it's third person narrative, is it omniscient, where you have the narrator having a monopoly on whatever happens with us, given things from his own perspective, or what is happening? What do you have to say about the narrative voice? Is it third person narrative, he and she and they, or is it first person narrative, I and we?
I and we, right?
I'm asking. I think it was third person narrative. Did you check? Those who have the novel. I think I
Yes,
have the
that's.
novel. Yeah, go ahead, Yuma.
I think it's third person narrator.
Okay. So we have a he. Well, obviously, this he is not one of the characters, right? And he is narrating. Uh, okay. So does he stick labels to the characters? Does perhaps that would require you to read the novel and to discover for yourself whether we're given ready-made judgments and assessments of the characters and events or not. Um, Again, I would like you to look into that, what kind of narrative we have and the significance of this kind of narrative. Far from it, you will not have the four voices that you have seen in Voices in the Park. And that was very innovative when you had those four different voices. Obviously, in Tom's Midnight Garden, you have only one voice, right? Okay. So let's now talk about the issues and the themes and the topics that the novel addresses and grapples with. So, what issues do we have? What topics and what themes do you think we have? I mean, I'm talking about patterns that get repeated throughout.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, go
I think
ahead.
there is lots of themes in this novel. Some of it is clear and some of it is hidden. But I think the abuse themed is childhood, the suffering from the death and get away from the loved ones. Um, Yes, I think also there is a hidden theme. They talking about the consequences of the war, but it's not clear theme.
Mhm. Yes, this is also, yeah, like you're saying, it's very subtle. Now, obviously, when we talk about Mrs. Portolomo, we'll discover that she has sons who got killed in action or in the war. Yes. Nagwa, you were saying something?
Yes, Doctor, I wanted to discuss the patterns point that one of the prominent patterns in this story is that whenever the clock strikes 13, we see that Tom heads downstairs to the backyard's door and enters the garden.
Okay, but this is not a theme, right?
No, I heard the question as patterns, not
Hmm.
themes.
No, I'm talking about themes and ideas
Sorry.
that the novel addresses.
Yeah, so in regards of themes, we have the loneliness that Tom experiences at the beginning. We
Mhm.
also get a glimpse of the theme of truth and lie when Tom thinks that the inhabitants are lying to him about the garden. We also get a sense of the theme of memory and how Mrs. Bartholomew at the end like remembers and how the memory sticks with Tom's how the memory of what happened throughout his aunt's visit is gonna stick with him when he gets back to his home.
Yeah. Okay. So do we have generational gaps? I mean, between the different I mean, do we have different generations, and do their ideas align, or are they divergent, or what?
Yes, I think in the end, the Tom discovered the gap generation between him and the Hathi. They talk about the different generation, maybe, in my opinion.
Yeah, perhaps I was referring more to the gap between the aunt and the uncle on one hand, and Tom. Remember what he thinks of time, what he thinks of the power of the imagination, right? Obviously, he has always been depicted as being at loggerheads with them. They have debates, and it doesn't seem that Tom gets convinced with what they say about time, about life, right? Which is obviously typical. You always have this gap between the young generation and the old one. The old generation is not happy with the new generation, and the new or the young generation does not listen to what the old generation dictates sometimes. So this is one of the themes that the novel grapples with. Um, Again, you have themes like nostalgia and memory, and how important memories are. They sustain you, they keep you going. Otherwise, life would be quite unbearable. And this is especially so when you talk about the character of Hattie, the fact that you're going to see that she has gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, losing family members. And that would also bring us to the idea of connection, and how when people get connected together, they can kind of provide the solace that they need. Um, Friends can provide or can help relieve us of our pain, of our suffering. So connection is very important on a number of levels. Through the connection that you make with other people, you would feel better. You would feel that you're not alone. You can share with them, they can share with you. Through connection, you can also learn lessons from those people. You don't have to go through bad experiences to learn something. You can listen to perhaps to what other people went through, and you can still learn a thing or two. This is also a very powerful message. It was all Hattie's misfortunes and mishaps that shaped, uh, uh, you know, Tom and his trajectory towards self-awareness and the realization that life is way more complex than he sees or perceives. Um, Again, and there, I mean, one of the most important ideas in the novel is the novel itself as a statement uh, against society, against the establishment, against the government, because this was a time after the Second World War when the economy was not doing very well, when people felt bad about the sad conditions of life, perhaps I mean high levels of unemployment, scarcity of things. Obviously, the government, like any government, would kind of promise them the world, but life it was different. So perhaps Tom and the whole novel is a statement against what the government was promoting. And going all the way back to the Victorian age is an escape from the drab and the sad realities after the Second World War. So the novel can also be about that, a statement against what was happening during and at the time. Um, there is a lot that we're going to talk about. I would like you to read more. If you have time, read the novel. If you don't have time, because we'll meet tomorrow, read a good summary and try to connect the dots and come up with ideas. Um, and I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. Tomorrow I'll give you your marks in the midterm exam. So until then, I wish you all the best. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you, doctor, for your time.
You're welcome. Bye bye.